I'm assuming they're your favorite faction in the universe.
Oh yeah, it's embarrassing how many Cadians I have painted over these years.
What if a game could help you find your voice, your courage, your people? Roll Dogs explores how tabletop games like Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering are helping shy and introverted people build real, lasting friendships. We're exploring the stories behind the dice, how imaginary worlds create real-life connections and motivations. Join us as we make this film, meet the players, and discover how a game can change a life. Your party's waiting, so let's roll the dice.
All right, guys, we're here with Cadian Sergeant Steele at AdeptiCon. And tell us, is this your first time here?
Oh no, far from it. This is, I think, year 10 for me, perhaps.
What do you think about this year?
I love it. This is our second year in Milwaukee, and the Baird Center is amazing, and this is exactly what AdeptiCon needed. The space, the facilities, and I'm actually shocked at how much gaming is really going on. I mean, you have multiple floors of gaming in this massive convention center. It's so amazing.
Yeah. We've been trying to catch people in between games, and we heard the rules for today that the game time is between 2 and 2.5 hours per game. So like you got to get them while you can, but it is massive how many people there are here. And you always come as Cadian Sergeant Steele?
Yeah, I started cosplaying about 4 years ago, and the first time I did it was the Nova Open down in DC, but shortly after, I started taking over the 40K narrative here at AdeptiCon when the other folks dropped out. Yeah. And so I come every year as Cadian Sergeant Steele and run narrative games and help folks have a great time.
That's awesome. And I'm assuming they're your favorite faction in the universe?
Oh yeah, it's embarrassing how many Cadians I have painted over these years.
What draws you to them? Is it because they are just the mortal army and they're not a part of the Astartes and any of the major chapters?
That really is what it is for me. And I had friends, my D&D friends, who were trying to get me into 40K for a long time, and nothing really resonated with me. I wasn't really interested. And then finally, one day in frustration, they showed me the Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard, and I just immediately fell in love. And I won't forget, my friend was so frustrated. He's like, "You don't like superhumans or cool aliens or giant bugs or robots?" I'm like, "Nah, but you're telling me there's regular humans fighting all these horrors in the universe?" And I'm like, that's my people. That's what I'm about. And so to me, that's also the greatest way to experience Warhammer 40K is through the eyes of a human looking upon all these horrors.
Someone who only has, if they're lucky, 30, 40 years of just hell on whatever planet or spaceship they're on.
Yeah, or seconds after they leave their first troop transport on their first deployment, as often happens to white shields, but sometimes you got to do that to build a wall to fight behind.
Yeah, and who do you think might be winning in the universe right now? Like if you had to pick a faction that could be on top and like taking the upper hand.
I'm going to go with probably a least popular opinion and say the Necrons. And the reason being they seem to be doing their own thing and not much anybody can do about it. So the Pariah Nexus story is still going on, and they're just taking on whole sectors of the universe, and nobody can do a thing about it.
Yeah, I always tell people, the hive worlds and how because they can just slowly come back. The real issue will be resources, I feel, if anything ever comes.
Yeah, eventually everything will, be deceased, and so the Tyranids lose out eventually. Yeah. The Necrons will live on forever.
What do you think is like the most powerful piece of weaponry in the Cadian arsenal? Like what is their like weapon of choice or your weapon of choice from them?
It really is the las gun. It is just, I know we have amazing tanks and artillery, but it's the las gun first and foremost. But for a more fun second opinion, then it's the Basilisk. The artillery reigns supreme on an Astra Militarum battlefield.
I mean, even now with modern day, you still need artillery, so you're going to need it in the future too.
There's nothing like 1,000 Earthshaker cannons raining down on the Chaos cultists to really clean up the mess.
So last question, we know Henry Cavill's picking up the cinematic universe. You think he's going to do a good job and hold up for the fans?
I think so. I think he's somebody who's very dedicated to making sure not only is it lore accurate, he talks about that a lot, but the ambiance is correct and that it's giving out the right sense of the universe for the fans. And I think about that a lot in terms of like, how do you introduce people to the universe through that kind of media? Mm-hmm. And once again, it's really hard to do it from a Space Marine's or Custodes' eyes. So hopefully we see some humans, and that's what I hope he does. But We also can recognize at the end of the day, everybody's human, and they're not going to be perfect, but I think he's going to do a good job.
Nice. Well, thank you. This has been a great interview, and hopefully you have a good con.
Yeah, you all too. Have a great time.